Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
God.
Hey guys. Good morning and welcome. And before we continue or start, any questions?
No.
Nope. Good. So we said blood. We had said liquid component, which was plasma. We had said the form components, which was cells. Yesterday we talked about the red blood cells. Today we will start talking about white blood cells. Okay. Now before we go and start talking about white blood cells, let's just classify them first. Because we had two major groups, if you want to put it, of white blood cells. One was going to be, it's okay, what we call granulocytes. And the other one is going to be what we call agranulocytes. Okay. Now to understand what we mean by granulocytes and agranulocytes, let's just say, okay, what do we mean by granulocytes? Because agranulocytes are going to be the opposite of that. Now, your granulocytes mainly are called granulocytes mainly because that, okay, as the cytoplasm have these small grain-like structures, which mainly as, okay, just are, okay, as vesicles. Okay, but they have this, what you can call as, okay, granular appearance. Okay, So that's pretty much okay why we call them granulocytes, whereas the agranulocytes mainly has no granules. Yep. Okay. Now, when we say granulocyte, that's mainly going to be as okay 3 types of cells that falls under the umbrella or the mainly are going to be considered to be granulocytes. First one is going to be what we call neutrophil or neutrophils. The other one we can say is going to be eosinophils. And last is going to be basophils. Whereas when you look at our agranulocytes, it's mainly going to be monocytes and lymphocytes. Now, guys, when you look at these cells here, or the granulocytes, you see that their name does not end with cyte. Okay. So what does the word "phil" mean? Mainly as okay, attracting, liking, or so and so. So these cells mainly as okay are labeled or named in accordance to the kind of stain that they will pick up when they are stained to as okay be viewed underneath a microscope. Okay, so they mainly as okay just named in accordance to the type of stain that they will pick up to get stained. Okay, so that's why that's okay. Eosinophil, basophils, so on so. Okay. But they are still going to be cells, although it's okay, they do not end with the word cyte. Is that clear? Okay. Just last thing, okay, because okay, there's still going to be one type of cell that we will talk about later today as well, hopefully, which will be as okay what can be referred to as the platelets, or we also as okay could call that those the rhombocytes. Okay, but first and foremost, yes, okay, let's talk about our white blood cells. Now, these could also be referred to as generally as okay, the leukocytes. We can abbreviate white blood cells as WBC. Okay, guys. Now, first and foremost, that's okay, what's going to be the functions of our white blood cells? Yesterday, when we talked about red blood cells, we say it's okay, the primarily it's okay carry what you would call oxygen. That was their primary job, to carry oxygen to the cells. So, now it will not be fair to say that the white blood cells fight infection. That's only one of the many things that your white blood cells do. So generally, we can make this as okay that they provide the body with immunity. Okay. Or you can say it's okay. Protect the body. Generally, it's okay. That's what we can say generally about all our white blood cells, whichever form it is. Now, one other requirement, one other thing that's going to be okay, unique with the white blood cells. Now, ideally, guys, your blood, or you can say it's okay, the red blood cells don't work by leaving the bloodstream. So, okay, your red blood cells don't work by leaving the bloodstream. They mainly as okay, just remain inside the bloodstream and do their job in that way. Mainly as okay, just by dropping off the oxygen at the yes, okay, to the tissues. But mainly as okay, the way by which your white blood cells will work is mainly as okay by, you can say it's okay. If we say do it this way, we have the bloodstream. Okay, let's say it's okay in the bloodstream. It's okay. We have the white blood cells. Now, just to take an example, let's say that okay, there's something going on somewhere in the body. Here in this group of tissues, there's something going on. Let's say it's okay that we have a infection. Okay. Now, the job of the white blood cell will mainly is okay to as in this case, provide immunity, or rather say in case of an infection, to fight that infection. Okay. That's not going to be able to do so, yes, okay, if the white blood cells, yes, okay, remain in the bloodstream. They mainly, yes, okay, will have to leave the bloodstream. Where are you? Okay. So we can mainly say, okay, that the white blood cell means, yes, okay, will leave the bloodstream and, okay, yes, collect in this tissue here. Or it's okay, in the area is okay, where the infectious material is, the bacteria and so on. So, and then is it that is going to be, you can say, okay, war between, yes, okay, the white blood cells and the bacteria. Okay, but if the white blood cells, yes, okay, kept staying in the bloodstream, molecule, yes, they were not going to be able to fight this infection. Did you guys get that? So the primary, yes, okay, will work once they, for instance, okay, enter into the area, into the tissues, glands, organs, etc., where they need to do their job. So that's going to mean is okay, be unique for your white blood cells or leukocytes. Did you guys get that? Any questions yet? Okay. Now, our first type of white blood cells that we may talk about, let's just start off with the granulocytes. And the first one is going to be, it's okay, will be the neutrophils. Okay. Now, neutrophils mainly is okay, their main job is, because it's okay to fight infection. Okay. Not any kind of infection, but are primarily going to be is okay to fighting bacterial infections. Okay, so in case that somebody gets a infection of bacteria or due to an bacteria, strepto, pneumococcus, meningococcus, things like that. The primary force that's going to be deployed to fight those bacteria is going to be neutrophils. That makes sense. So yes, primary target for neutrophils is going to be bacteria that cause the bacterial infection. Next thing will be how is it that these neutrophils here work? Or let's say fight a bacterial infection. Now, pretty much as we just said, well, yes, they will have to leave the tissue, or have to leave the bloodstream, and mainly camp in the tissue, yes, where the infection needs to be fought. Okay, but after that, these neutrophils mainly will go into action by what we call phagocytosis, which we talked about when we were talking active transport. Okay, because that's phagocytosis was an example, yes, which involved active transport. Okay. But what we actually mean by phagocytosis is that yes, in this case, yes, we can say that the bacteria is going to be engulfed by the neutrophil. Now, what we mean is what mean by engulf is going to be group, 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 group. Okay, so the way that it actually works is that yes, as the neutrophil approaches the bacteria, is going to form these arm-like projections, encircle the bacteria, and now the bacteria is going to be trapped inside the neutrophil. And then there are going to be those vesicles or granules that's going to release their substance or content and kill the bacteria. Okay, but phagocytosis, whenever it's something is going to be phagocytosed, it's mainly going to be that yes, the cell that does phagocytosis mainly going to just engulf the substance and eat it like that. Did you guys get that? Now, and don't think that the bacteria isn't going to be fighting back. Okay. So what we actually will have as a result of this is that yes, we may have dead bacteria. Okay. We can say dead bacteria. We may have dead neutrophils. And there may even be we can say some damaged tissue. And this is mainly going to become where you can call pus. Okay. Now, it's not going to be all kind of bacterial infections that lead to pus. But if somebody has, okay, developed what you can call pus, that mainly means that, okay, your body has been trying to fight the infection, because what we actually have in pus is, well, okay, dead bacteria, some dead neutrophils, and even, yes, okay, some, yes, okay, dead tissues. Okay. Just like in war, yes, okay, there is going to be, yes, okay, loss of fighting soldiers on both sides and some destroyed buildings. Okay. But primarily, yes, okay, how neutrophils works is by phagocytosis, which mainly means that, okay, in this case, the neutrophils will engulf the bacteria. Okay. And the primary target for your neutrophils is mainly, as okay, to fight off bacterial infections. The next kind of white blood cells, or let's say, is okay, organellocytes, is going to be eosinophils. Now, primarily, as okay, what eosinophils are going to be, they're going to be anti-inflammatory. Now, anti, as okay, just means, against. Inflammatory in this case is going to be, as okay, pertaining to inflammation. Okay. Now, many people may think of inflammation as being, as okay, infection. No, that's not what it is. Inflammation is mainly, as okay, going to be considered as okay, the body's first response to any invasion of the body and trauma. So the first thing that your body is going to do if it senses that something is not right, let's put it that way, is going to be inflammation. Okay. Now, some of you may then be scratching your heads and say, why do we need something to work against inflammation? Well, okay, inflammation is only good for a certain time. Good is good, but then too much good is bad. Okay, you don't want an inflammation to go on and on and on and on and on. Did that make sense? Okay, so what pretty much, okay, as well, you can say keep the inflammation under some sort of control is going to be as okay, any substance which will be considered to be anti-inflammatory. Okay. Primarily as okay, in light fevers and things like that, or even pains, you take a Motrin and so on. Motrin is not necessarily just a painkiller. Primarily what it is anti-inflammatory. Okay, so it mainly as okay deals with the inflammation, because you don't want this inflammation to just okay go out of control. Okay, but before yes okay we had substances like okay anti-inflammatories and so on. So yes okay your body has its own mechanism of anti-inflammation, which is going to be the eosinophils. Okay. Another thing that, okay, yes, your eosinophils do is that, okay, yes, they may target not bacteria, but rather as, okay, what we call parasites. So they may as, okay, provide immunity to the body against what you call parasites. Okay. We also, yes, okay, will see, yes, okay, eosinophils predominantly in allergies. Okay, so people with allergies, that's okay. One of the things that means that's okay causes those allergies can be eosinophils. As a matter of fact, what they now see is that okay, it is certain types of asthmatics have okay as a predominance of eosinophils in the sputum in the airways, especially as okay during an asthmatic attack. So that's okay. Those asthmatics most likely as okay will benefit from drugs that are being designed mainly as okay to target the eosinophils and reduce their count so that the person can okay as get free from his or her asthmatic attacks.
So is it like having too much of them is what causes the
Yeah.
allergies?
Or you can mainly say, listen, okay, but what is asthma? Asthma is mean it's okay, just an allergic reaction that involves your breathing, right? Okay. Okay. So allergies can okay show up in different ways. Okay, runny nose, itching, and so on. So okay. When allergy, yes, okay, when allergic reaction, for instance, okay, involves your airways or your breathing. That's what they call asthma. Okay. Did that make sense? Okay. And in people with asthma, not every kind of, not all asthmatics, but a certain group of asthmatics, what they have seen is that they have a higher production of eosinophils. Not all asthmatics, some of them. So that's why it's okay. They now actually it's okay. May do different kind of okay as breath tests to as okay check on the level of eosinophil because then it's going to be as okay other groups of drugs that may benefit the patient in that case. Did that make sense there? Okay.
Yes.
But
Thank
we
you.
can say that okay as eosinophil as okay they play a major role generally as okay in allergies. Now it's not all everything that's bad about yes okay eosinophils because what they also is okay, or what we also have seen is that they actually is okay also helps the body to fight tumors. Okay, so don't okay, but that doesn't mean that's going to cure. It doesn't mean that's going to cure, but mainly it's okay. Try to yes okay fight the tumors to yes okay to a certain limit. Okay, okay. So you even have okay some certain yes okay anti-neoplastic capacity. Okay, it's probably still not going to be as okay a replacement for chemo and so on and so on. So, but it is there's okay you can say it's okay inbuilt mechanism that the body has, which is okay enables the body to just okay fight off the development of tumors. Did that make sense? Okay. So roughly speaking, yes, okay, just a little bit of okay as the different functions of your eosinophils. Now the next one is going to be basophils. Now basophils, well, okay, what do? They mainly, as okay, play a major role in inflammation. And what did I just say that inflammation was? Yes, okay. The body's first response. Okay. To any substance. And even as we say, it's okay, trauma. So, okay. You missing the nail and hitting your finger. Bam. Okay. That's trauma. Okay. So what you see swells up, hurts, all that becomes red. That's all is okay, signs of inflammation. Clear? Okay. So you're okay. And what means it will trigger that inflammation as far as okay as your white blood cells are concerned is going to be the basophils. Now, another thing, and that is going to be, and this probably is okay. What basophils do, they produce a substance. And that substance is called, now many students or many people look at that word and say, well, okay, it sounds like liver. So wouldn't it be the liver that supplies okay or produces the substance? No. And that substance is called heparin. Okay. So you may say it's okay, this here, or the hepa here. Sounds like liver. No. It's going to be the basophils that will produce this substance called heparin. Now the question does is, what is it that this heparin is? Some of you may already have heard of the substance called heparin, but if not, that is going to be it's okay what we call an anti-coagulant. Now, anti, we already said earlier today, that means okay means against. So something that works against a process called coagulation. The main is okay is going to prevent coagulation from occurring. What do we mean by coagulation? Now we'll talk a bit more in detail about that, but mainly it's okay what coagulation just will mean is going to be the clotting of blood. Or we can say it's okay, the formation of a blood clot. That process by which blood clots is going to be called coagulation. So anticoagulant is mean that's going to we can say it's prevent clotting of blood or prevent the formation of blood clots. Okay, so that's just due to a substance called heparin, which in the body is going to be produced by the basophils. Okay, now why that? Good is good, but too much good is bad. You don't just want your blood to randomly start clotting. Clear? Okay, what's going to prevent it from doing so? That's because mean says this substance that your blood produces, known as heparin. Now, any of you who know somebody who has undergone different medical procedures, you may have heard that as they were given a shot of heparin prior to that procedure. That balloon dilatation, for instance, patients will be given heparin. Okay, people who, for instance, just developed a blood clot, always most likely are going to undergo a procedure afterwards, which they will be on what you can call is blood thinners for either the rest of their lives or for a short or longer period. Preliminary is will be given heparin, mainly to prevent the formation of blood clots. Okay. Now, since the blood isn't able to, it's not going to be able to clot that easy. That's why it's those people have to be extremely careful for not just cutting themselves, poking themselves, because it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare to try to stop that bleeding, because the blood will not be able to clot. That clotting is going to be a vital step of stopping a bleeding. Okay. But this substance is mainly works against coagulation. For our benefit here is it prevents, you can say the production of unwanted blood clots, because you don't want blood clots being circulating in your blood, because they can get stuck anywhere and lead to different kinds of accidents. Did you guys get that? So heparin is not produced by the liver. Okay, heparin is not produced by the liver, it's produced by the basophils. All that's the word hepa may is sound a little bit by like liver. So pretty much yes, this was your granulocytes. Neutrophils, fighting infections. Eosinophils, anti-inflammatory, plays a role in allergies, fights parasites, and play a role in allergies. And basophils primary as okay inflammatory cells, kick in case of inflammation, and also produced heparin, which is an anticoagulant. Now, our next category of white blood cells was the A granulocytes. And guys, in the A granulocytes, we have two main types of cells. First and foremost was going to be what we call monocytes. Okay. Now, what can we say that the monocytes are going to be? Well, okay. These are made as going to be white blood cells that mainly as we can say will clean up the mess caused by other white blood cells doing their job. Let's take the example that we had earlier. There we says, okay, we had a bacterial infection. We said, okay, as some neutrophils came, fought this. What that led into is, was some pus. Now your body's normal response to tries to get rid of this pus in this case here, or whatever mess has been created by other neutrophils or other white blood cells. Whether that were the eosinophils or basophils, etc. That's when we mainly say that the monocytes will be deployed. And their job is made as going to clean up this mess. Okay. Now the question just comes as how is it that these monocytes here will clean up this mess? It's mainly again going to that they do so by phagocytosis. So these monocytes that are deployed mainly as will come and phagocytosis, or mainly as engulf this mess here. Or mainly as you can say vacuum clean it. Did that make sense? Now, what happens is that, after this phagocytosis by the monocytes, we can mainly say, that the monocyte that comes is a small, starving monocyte. It eats its happy meal and leaves off as what you can call a macrophage. Phage here mainly is just means something that has eaten. And what happens as a result of eating is going to be it became enlarged. So the macrophage that's going to leave this scene here is going to be well fed. Did you guys get that? Just think if I, yes, okay, let any of you lose in your favorite candy shop. And say, well, okay, there's no limitations. It's on me. What will you do? Scooby-Doo, what would you do? Probably eat so much candy or chocolate. Sorry, Justine. That you will not be able to just, okay, walk out of this store, right? Okay. I'm more likely well to roll you out because, yes, okay, did that make sense? Okay. So you came there as, okay, just longer for us, okay, eating all that chocolate or candies. But when you leave, yes, okay, you're supersized. So those monocytes that leave after this, okay, that happy meal will be referred to as macrophages, which mainly means fat themselves so big. And these macrophages here, it's okay, guys, are okay, they clean up a mess, but they may cause other messes. You guys remember there's okay, arteriosclerosis? One of the theories is that okay, as what actually is okay, gets deposited in the vessel walls may not necessarily be fat, but these macrophages here. So that's why some people, that's okay, yes, okay, or we know more or less believe that okay, yes, things such as okay, high blood pressure, or it's okay, cardiovascular disease, and so is inflammatory. As a result of is okay, inflammation and so on. But just think of okay, these monocytes here being as okay, the vacuum cleaner that comes in and vacuum the mess that has been produced. And at some point, it's okay, that vacuum is going to be filled up with all the things that it vacuumed up. Okay. And that's going to be referred to as a macrophage. Or just think of Supersize Me. Have anybody seen that movie or documentary? Okay. So of course, that's okay. If you come in and clean up a mess as a vacuum cleaner, that's okay. At some point, that's okay. You're going to be filled to the brim. Okay. So that was mainly that's okay, your monocytes. So how do they work? They also work by phagocytosis. What's going to the outcome of the monocytes on the other end is going to be macrophages. Clear? Okay. Any questions so far? Now our next agranulocyte is what we call lymphocytes. Now, guys, primarily, what your lymphocytes will be doing is, well, okay, they were primarily, as okay, their primary target is going to be viruses. Okay, so the primary thing that occurs lymphocyte will target is going to be viruses. Now, what we can say is that as made as okay, going to be two major types of lymphocytes. There's going to be as okay what we can call as okay T cell lymphocytes. And there's going to be what we can call B cell lymphocytes. Did you guys get that? So we have two types of lymphocytes. One called T cell lymphocytes, one called B cell lymphocytes. Now, why do we call B cell lymphocytes B cell lymphocytes and T cell lymphocytes T cell lymphocytes? Now, guys, if you remember yesterday that I said most of your blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. I didn't say all. I said most. And that's because of your T cell lymphocytes. Because these do not come from stem cells in the bone marrow. Clear? Okay. That's why they call T cell lymphocytes. So here's okay. The T actually, that's okay, stands for a gland called the thymus. So the reason that we call them T cell lymphocytes is because there's going to be the thymus that produces these cells here. Now, guys, I'm sorry. Next thing, none of us right now have our thymus. Me nor you. We only have that gland in our early years of life. I mean, it happens in, let's okay, early teenage years is that the thymus mean that's okay starts to degenerate into a fibrous strap. Now, some of you may ask, so where was it that we had the thymus gland? Right here, by the trachea. Okay. But right now, none of us have it. It has degenerated into a fibrous strand. So right now, none of us are going to be able to produce T cell lymphocytes. They are produced in our early years of life. Did that make sense? Yep. Okay. But why do we call them T cell lymphocytes? Because produced by the thymus. Now, guys, when we talk T cell lymphocytes, that actually is okay are going to be two types of T cell lymphocytes. We can say it's okay, we have what we call as okay. Sorry. helper T cell lymphocytes. They are still T cell lymphocytes, but we call them helper T cell lymphocytes. And they also go under the abbreviation that they actually is called CD4 cells. Or just refer to as CD4. The fourth CD in your collection. Other type of T cell lymphocytes is going to be what we call suppressor T cell lymphocytes. And these suppressor T cell lymphocytes also go under the abbreviation CD8. Okay. Now, so immediately as comes to us, what does the helper T cell lymphocytes do? And what does the suppressor T cell lymphocytes do? Now, if you look at the word suppression or suppressor, what these mean is will do is suppress an immune response. Now, some of you may be scratching your heads and say, what's going to be the good for that? Or what good are we going to get from an immune response being suppressed? Yes.
Your body's not going to be able to fight it.
Fight what?
The infection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then that would be bad, right?
Yeah.
Good. Will Mother Nature give you something which was bad?
Maybe. No. No. I don't know.
Okay. When I say that it suppresses the immune response of the body. Now, what we earlier talked about was something known as autoimmune. Did you guys remember that? What did we mean by autoimmune? That your body's immune system. No, that's fine. Attacks your normal tissues, right? That was not desired. We didn't want that to happen. Okay. So what you made is would have wished at that time is that yes, if there was something that could calm down your immune response, or mean is suppress it so that it won't go on and attack your normal tissues. Okay, just think of it in this way, dear. You have a fire. There's a building on fire. Well, what do? You call the firefighters, right? Okay. Did that make sense? Okay. What are they going to do? Turn off that fire. The one that's fire is off, that's okay. You say, well, okay, thank you for your job. Mission accomplished, fire off, so on and so. Go back to the fire station. Clear? Okay. That was a normal response. Clear? Okay. You don't want those firefighters to be walking around and okay, yes, spraying water at pedestrians, people walking, people driving in their cars, and so on. So spraying water at okay, random buildings where there's no fire. Right? Okay. So pretty much okay, telling them to just okay, go back to the fire station and just wait. God forbid, okay, another fire is okay, gets on, yes, okay, then we will record. That's mainly as okay, you say, well, okay, suppressing it. Go back. Don't do anything anymore. Clear? Okay. Whereas okay, it's on the way back, or it's okay, just for fun. They come out, styles, okay, splashing water here, splashing water there, and okay, yes. People or anything which is not on fire, yes, okay, what will that be? That will be a menace. Okay. Did that make sense? So mainly as okay, the body's response to say, okay, mission accomplished, go back and take it easy. Is going to be as okay by the suppressed T cell lymphocytes. Yes.
So basically, is it to like prevent it from being like overly active,
Exactly.
like too much?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Do your job and go back. And just wait for the next call. Let's put it that way. Did that make sense? Right. Where? If you look at, okay, what we then just call is, okay, the helper T cell lymphocytes. What are these going to be? These are going to be, as okay, we can say it's okay, the T cell lymphocytes that's going to initiate, in this case, if we can say, okay, that immune response. Did that make sense? So without T cell lymphocytes, or without, sorry, helper T cell lymphocytes, your body will not be able to initiate an immune response. Clear? Okay. That's me as well going to be saying, okay, I have a Porsche in my parking lot or in my garage or driveway. But, well, okay, I don't have the key for it. Clear? Okay. So that Porsche is just standing there. It's okay, you have, it's okay, all of the cells in your immune system intact. But the actual cells, as I was going to, is okay, you can say, it's okay, kickstart those cells of the immune response. That's okay. You don't have those. Okay, because says okay, these cells are going to be the key to start any immune response. Did that make sense? So that's why we mainly call them the helper T cell lymphocytes, because the main is okay, help to start any immune response. The suppressor T cell lymphocytes say, okay, mission accomplished, job done. Well done, boys. Back to pavilion and just wait for the next call. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now, what happens with people who have HIV? It's called human immunodeficiency virus, right? Okay. One of the primary targets for HIV or for the HIV virus is the CD4 or the T cell, helper T cell lymphocytes. So that's mainly as okay, what causes that okay, the patient become more and less what we can call immunodeficient. Because they are going to be lacking on the white blood cells or the lymphocyte that are going to initiate an immune response, and they become pretty much okay as immune deficient. Okay, so well, okay, still till today's date, we may not see much actual AIDS patients, primarily because of okay, as the drugs that are available now. Okay, but what made us okay differentiated between being HIV positive and an actual case of AIDS was the count of your CD4 or T helper lymphocytes or helper T cell lymphocytes, sorry. Because once their number went below a certain count, you can mean it as okay, a person will be upgraded from being just known as HIV positive to be an actual patient of AIDS. Yeah, you mean is okay. Now his or her immune system is completely smashed. So the only is okay, just run blood test and count on it's okay and count on the CD4 or T cell, oh sorry, helper T cell lymphocytes. Well, okay, you stay. Okay. You were HIV positive, you still are. You're probably going to be, so that's okay for the rest of your life, but you're not an AIDS patient yet. So that's how it worked. Because once that count became less than 200 cells per micrometer, yes, okay, that was when they say, okay, now your immune system is bada bim bada boom. And yeah, they may die off, okay, as a common cold or whatever. So any questions? So yes, okay, if you lost your key in the first place or first time, no, I still have okay as a backup key. I still have an emergency key. The problem is going to be is okay when you lose that emergency key too. Then okay, that Porsche is just going to be standing there. You won't be able to it's okay open the doors. Since you can't open the doors, yes, okay, you can't open the lid for the engine to even just okay jump start it. And even if you jump start it, you won't be able to ride it, right? Okay, because you still can't open the door. So it's just going to be standing there and it's okay running. And ultimately run out of gas. So yes, okay, those were the two major types of your T cell lymphocytes produced by the thymus. Any questions? Now that means yes, okay, just takes us to the B cell lymphocytes. And now when we say B cell lymphocyte, why in the blue we will call, say, B cell lymphocytes? Because, yes, guys, these were still, yes, okay, derived from bone marrow. Let's say the stem cells in the bone marrow. But me is okay, from bone marrow, B. Did that make sense? What these B cell lymphocytes here is okay produce is that they produce as okay what we call, strange enough, that's okay, they call plasma cells. They also as okay play a role in the production of what we can call as okay antibodies. Which will become what we can call memory cells. Now just think of it, and in that way, it's okay, help with immunity. Now just think of it in this way. There are mainly two ways by which your body can develop immunity against an, let's say, it's okay, infection. Now it's up to you which way you want to go with. One way is you get exposed to the bacteria, virus, whatever it is. Suffer from, okay, XYZ amount of days. And as an outcome of that, well, okay, yes, if you make it to the other end, it's okay, had developed an immunity. Mainly because your body produces antibodies against that bacteria, virus, whatsoever. Yeah, okay? That you now have in your body. And okay, yes, if God forbid that, okay, yes, you get exposed again to that bacteria, virus, whatsoever, well, okay, you have the defense mechanism. They know this fellow, they know how he acts because they were produced by him or her XYZ amount of time ago. So your body is, you can say it's okay, rarely equipped to take up the fight. Okay, you may have, okay, slight fever, so and so, but you'll not be as sick as a dog as you were the first time. Other way would be vaccination. Now, why do they vaccinate you? In that way, yes, okay, you don't really get exposed to the bacteria, virus, so and so. But the main is okay, expose you to something that's going to, is okay, initiate that immune response in your body and produce antibodies that you have ready in case that, God forbid, you get exposed. So without catching the infection in one child, it's okay, living it out once, you may, as okay, be prepared for it if you get exposed to it. Okay, so that's why we call them SOK memory cells, because SOK, they know how this fellow works. Or what his or her secret weapon is. But it's okay, if we are clever, so are the microscopic fellows as well, and clever. And that's why it's okay. Have anybody heard of, okay, what they call the superbug? Or resistant strains and so on, so So yes, bacteria and viruses may even get clever. You guys remember COVID? It was not that long ago. And then we got to know that, okay, yes, okay, there was this first COVID and then came Delta. The people from, yes, okay, the airline company called Delta was not happy with that name. But that was just a different strain. Then was Omega. And you go, okay, damn it. Okay, that's omega-3 fish oil. Whatever, right? Okay. So it's okay, let's just hope that, okay, as the Greeks doesn't have a lot of alphabets in there, letters in the alphabets, because they are going to name all the strains after, yes, okay, different Greek letters. Okay. So, but pretty much, okay, yes, that's how, yes, okay, your body works. By, yes, okay, okay. But these cells, which may, yes, okay, helps you to produce antibodies, or as you can call it, okay, or B, memory cells, exactly, is primarily as okay as a response of your B cell lymphocytes. Why do you call them B cell lymphocytes? Because they were produced by the stems or derived from the stem cells in the bone marrow. Anybody wanna say anything? Nope, nothing. Okay. Now just read on your white blood cells for a little bit, and I see you guys back in, should we say, 15 minutes. And after that, it's okay, we'll talk a bit about or platelets and what we'll call, that's okay, uh, hematostasis. So I said 10:35. I see you guys back. Okay, guys, welcome back. And now, before we start, any questions, guys? Nope. Sure. No, that just leave us with the last type of what we may call blood cells, known as platelets. Or thrombocytes. Now, one or two fun facts about this fellow here is, first, smallest cell in the body. Yesterday we said that the white blood cell, sorry, the red blood cell was the second smallest cell in the body. So that means it's okay being beaten by the platelets, also known as the thrombocytes. Another thing is just like your red blood cells. These here are also going to be anuclear, which you may say yesterday is okay, means that okay, yes, it doesn't have a nucleus. And since yes, okay, they don't have a nucleus, that's why some people may not consider them to be cells. And that's why you may come across that they call them as okay, corpuscles. Okay, another, let's say it's okay, misconception about it's okay when we look at the word thrombocytes, because what we know by the word thrombo or thrombos, clot. Okay, so what people may think, or what maybe it's okay, we can say it's okay, misconception is it going to be these cells here that produces the clot or form the clot? No. It's not going to be a platelet or the thrombus that forms the clot. Then some of you will say, okay, but why in the hell would they then call them the thrombocytes then? We can mainly say that, okay, yes, the explanation that we give for that is that, okay, these cells here is okay. Because it's okay, initiate the process that will lead to the formation of blood clot. Which then now can be called a thrombus. Is that clear? So the platelets are not going to be the cell that actually forms the clot, but mainly that's okay. What these will do is initiate the process. And that's going to be the process that we will just talk about in just a little bit, which will be called hematostasis. Okay, but what this hematostasis is going to ultimately lead to is, well, okay, we can say the formation of a blood clot. Okay, now guys, one thing, please do not confuse this with homeostasis. Okay, okay, they may look alike because, okay, they both end with stasis. They both start with an H. Homeostasis was that ideal internal environment of the body. Okay, which means is okay, it's going to be maintained by the normal functioning of all the body systems individually, and all those body systems is okay working in harmony with one another. Whereas here, we can mainly say, okay, what this hematostasis is going to be. That start off at, okay, something happening with the platelets, ultimately it's okay, leads to the formation of a blood clot. And at the end, disruption of this blood clot. is going to be hematostasis. But briefly, it's okay if we want to, it's okay, define or say it's okay what hematostasis is. You can say it's okay. We can say primary is going to be the process that stop bleeding. Okay. So primary is going to be the process that's going to stop bleeding. Okay. Now please be aware of that. Okay, as the word bleeding can also be called a hemorrhage. Okay. So what's going to be a primary function of the process called hematostasis is primarily to just, okay, stop the bleeding. Why would somebody bleed? Mainly because the continuity of the blood vessel has been breached. Or we can say, okay, we had a blood vessel that may be cut or damaged to a certain extent, through which, yes, okay, there's going to be blood leaving the blood vessel through that puncture, incision, cut, whatsoever. Okay, so primary to stop that bleeding. And we can mainly say, okay, restore the blood vessel back to, let's say, okay, its state prior to the trauma. So this is pretty much, okay, going to be as, okay, where we mainly will say it happens during the process known as hematostasis. First and foremost, that's, okay, stopping the bleeding or the hemorrhage. Okay, primary to prevent, just, okay, further blood loss. After that is achieved, yes, okay, make sure that the blood vessel that, okay, yes, was damaged due to, yes, okay, a cut, a stab wound, or whatever, that blood vessel is restored back to, yes, okay, the way it was before getting or before the trauma. Or we can say, okay, disruption in the continuity of the blood vessel. Did you guys get that? So just remember the last time you cut your finger, or it's okay, suffer any form of trauma, it's okay when it started to bleed. Okay, so how is it that your body is going to react, or was reacting at that time? That's what we're going to be talking about now. Now, before I can start on, anybody has any questions? Nope. Okay. Good. So let's just look at it in this way. So we're going to chalk off hematostasis. Now for that, let's just say we had a blood vessel. Okay, this was the blood vessel. And okay, yes, everything was going fine. Blood was running in that blood vessel. Nothing to worry about. What ultimately happened, for instance, is somebody might have been a little bit careless with the knife while slicing an apple, chopping an onion, or whatsoever. So what he or she did was cut into the blood vessel. So that's okay. Not only was the blood going to flow like this, but that's okay. Blood was almost going to essentially stop leaving blood vessel. Right now, it's okay. You have a bleeding. Now, the first thing that will occur at this stage here, the first event that will take place is going to be a sort of what we call vasoconstriction. Okay. We can mainly say that, okay, yes, that's going to be that. Yeah, sorry. Now the blood vessel that was disrupted. We actually, that's okay, may have that, okay, yes, it starts, so first we had over this bit, it actually, that's okay, will start to constrict like this. If not like this, either is okay, because first, this was the dimension of the blood vessel. It may, yes, okay, narrow down. Mainly as okay, 2 years ago, it's okay. Reduce the blood flow to this area, and it's okay. In that way, it's okay, minimize the bleeding. But what we mean as okay, just mean by vasoconstriction is that the blood vessel narrows down. So that actually is going to be as okay, our first step of hematostasis, which we primarily says okay right now as mainly as okay, G is okay, minimize or is okay, or stop the bleeding. The second step that's going to kick in. All the okay, we say as okay, that's going to be as okay, reduce blood flow. But what we actually will see, primary as okay, due to as okay, chemical substances released from as okay, this traumatized cut blood vessel here. There's going to mainly as okay, be chemical signals that actually as okay, will signal or send an alarm, which mainly as okay, is going to attract the platelets. So we actually, as okay, we have an increased flow of platelets to this area here. And those platelets are not going to just okay rush to this area, but they actually is okay are going to just okay come and stick here around this area. And that's mainly going to be as okay, what we say that that's going to be as okay a platelet plug formation. Okay. Where the platelets actually come and stick to the area of the blood vessel that was traumatized. Okay. The bigger or smaller is okay. Hole or is okay, breach in the continuity of the blood vessel that was produced was reduced in size by vasoconstriction. If that is not enough, well, okay, yes, the platelets will come and stick and form this cork-like structure, or which means, okay, there's going to be a plug. Okay, so we can mainly say platelets. You can say, okay, rush to the area of trauma. Stick together to form what we call a platelet plug. Okay, now what this platelet plug is going to do, you can say, okay, block the cut in the blood vessel. Did you guys get that? Now, what mostly will happen is, yes, okay, as a result of this platelet plug formation here, your bleeding will stop. Okay, but what you can see is that, okay, as the blood or the platelets didn't form what we actually call the clot or thrombus, but actually it's okay, it just forms this platelet plug that's going to just, okay, stick onto the PV here. Now, guys, one thing, because we can mainly say that, okay, yes, that vasoconstriction together with the platelet plug formation. These two being added together, that is mainly going to be as, okay, what we will call primary, and let me just do this one, hematostasis. So once the blood vessel undergoes vasoconstriction, once that platelet plug has formed, we can mainly say, okay, primary hematostasis has been completed. Now, unless this is, okay, as a big defect in the blood vessel, the bleeding most likely is, okay, will stop. Did you guys get that? Okay, so because it's, okay, primary step of hematostasis has been completed. But these two events together, vasoconstriction and the platelet plug formation, together will be making up what we call the primary hematostasis. Did you guys get that? Any questions so far? Nope. No questions? Now, some of you will say, so where does the clot comes in? That's what we will talk about now. You guys don't mind if I go to another slide, right? Or do you?
No, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. So we said, what did we have already? We had just vasoconstriction. We had the platelet plug formation. Okay, the platelet plug has been formed. Now, what this platelet plug here is going to do is mean that's going to release certain substances, which is going to take us to the next step. Which we actually can call coagulation. And what did we say that a coagulation was? The process of the clot formation. Okay. Now, this is a long chain of cascade of different events that mainly has have to walk hand in hand to complete this cycle, at the end of which we actually will have the formation of a clot. Okay, you may have heard, if not, then right now we can that there are going to be things which we call clotting factors, which mainly are just going to be chemical mediators. Primary starts to be produced by this platelet plug here, mainly to initiate coagulation or the formation of a clot. Or very convenient says remaining clot factors mainly is going to be, you can say we have a clot factor that's going to be produced in this step here. Mainly it's to initiate the next step, and so on, so on, so on. Okay. So this clotting or coagulation is mainly going to be due to action of different clot factors. Now we can just summarize this coagulation or clot formation here by mainly say that there will be a substance that is called prothrombin. Now, if you look here, this thrombin sound pretty much like clot. Okay. What the pro mainly mean is that yes, it's something that comes before what actually is going to become what we'll call thrombin. So prothrombin is mainly just an inactive form of a clotting factor, which is going to get activated to become thrombin. As a matter of fact, yes, the substance that's going to lead to this activation of prothrombin into thrombin is going to be calcium. Okay. A lot of steps happens. Just to get to the end of it, we can mainly say that there was a substance of this product. Confuse. We said, which was called fibrinogen. And what did we say that fibrinogen was going to do? Was going to again be activated into what we call fibrin. Okay. And once this step here, that fibrinogen is converted into fibrin, because this was also an inactive form, an inactive protein that was activated into its active form. These fibrin, as we look at them, it sounds pretty much as fibers are going to be threads. And what the mainly will do is mingle together like this and form what we can call a fibrin meshwork, or something that may look like a net. And that's actually going to be what get deposited here. This was the last step of your coagulation that forms the clot. So we can mainly say that, yes, until and unless fibrinogen wasn't converted into fibrin, your blood will not clot. Did you guys get that? So in this instance, here, this is going to be your coagulation, or we can say, what we here says, this is going to be a blood clot. Which means, was just formed by these fibrin threads, be knit together into a net or a meshwork. That means, will form the blood. Or causes the completion of the process called coagulation. Did you guys get that?
I just have a question. What
No.
did you say the prothrombin and the fibrogen gets activated by? Is that a positive?
Okay, listen here. What I said was prothrombin. Okay. Now when we say prothrombin, it's probably the wrong color. Let's use this color here. Pro mainly as means something that comes before thrombin. Or we can mainly as say that that's mainly as we can say it's going to be an inactive form of thrombin that got to be activated into the actual substance called thrombin. Did you get that?
Right. I was asking what causes the activation. Is that a positive ion? What causes it?
It's mainly going to be calcium.
Oh, that says calcium. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I couldn't read that well.
Okay, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Okay. So it mainly going to be calcium that's going to cause activation of prothrombin into thrombin. Okay. After which, we have this long cascade of events where we mean that our last step was going to be that the fibrinogen was converted into fibrin. Now, once fibrinogen is converted into fibrin, nothing is going to stop the clot formation. Because what these fibrin threads here mean are going to do is get knitted together and form a blood clot. As a matter of fact, my dear, the substance that we talked about earlier, you remember this one here? Heparin? Pretty much is going to act here. And prevent fibrinogen to get activated into fibrin. And in that way, prevent the blood from completing the process of coagulation. Okay, and that's pretty much okay why we said that heparin was an anticoagulant. Because it mainly intervenes in the process of coagulation. In this case, it's to prevent the fibrinogen to become fibrin, which is must for the clot to form. So unless fibrinogen is converted into fibrin, well, the blood will not clot, or you can say the clot will not form, or yes, coagulation will not be accomplished. Did that make sense? Okay. Now what did we have? Stoppage of the bleeding. Not only that, we can say, the blood vessel is now going to be equipped with what is going to be needed for it to heal itself. Clear? Now, okay, guys. Now, this third step in our hematostasis, as we called it, which was coagulation, which was the same. Yes, was it going to be? Yes, the sequence of events that ultimately will lead to end up as fibrinogen converted into fibrin to form the meshwork, which we refer to as the clot. Okay, this whole step here is in context to hematostasis, can also be referred to as secondary hematostasis. Is that clear? So coagulation or the formation of the blood clot can also be referred to as secondary hematostasis. Whatever step came before coagulation, which was vasoconstriction and platelet plug formation, became, together was referred to as primary hematostasis. Okay, but what we mainly can say is, it happens at this point here is that, well, yes, bleeding has stopped. You guys get that? But what did I say that the outcome of hematostasis was? Well, first step or first priority was stop the bleeding. Clear, okay? Stop the bleeding. Okay, that has been accomplished. Vasoconstriction, platelet plug formation, coagulation, bleeding is stopped. But what did I say was going to be the next thing that we wanted to achieve by hematostasis? Is that going to be good enough to say that, as bleeding has stopped? We want the blood vessel to be restored into the state that it was before the trauma. You cutting your finger or cutting a blood vessel or poking yourself or whatsoever that led to that bleeding in the first place. We want to restore the blood vessel into the state that it was before that accident happened. Did you guys get that? Okay, so what would that mean? That mainly mean that now, yes, the blood vessel has to heal. Now, last time somebody is okay, cut themselves, stabbed themselves, poked themselves, I guess okay, there was a bigger or smaller bleeding. What do you see? Okay, the bleeding stops. What do you develop?
A scab?
Huh?
A scab?
Scab. Where in the blue did that come from? Scab. Very good, Jennifer. But do you have any idea where that scab came from?
Dried blood cells?
Okay. Dried blood in what sense? You're almost there. What did we have in the blood that you could say it's okay, it could dry up
Clots?
and form a scab? If you look closely here, you'll be able to just, okay, guess it.
Is
Okay,
it
dear, where do you see the scab?
on the surface of the skin?
On the surface of the skin. Good. So again,
Heat?
what do you think is going to become the scab in all this?
The
Uh,
shit.
Shit, no, I don't think that was.
The prothrombin. No.
No.
It becomes like the fibrin.
Huh?
When it becomes fibrin.
Nope.
The plug?
Who said that?
Me,
Who's me?
Justine.
Justine, okay. Exactly.
Mhm.
That platelet plug. That's going to be as okay what you call the scab. I'll become the scab. Did that make sense? So what we made, you can say is okay, yes, that now as the blood vessel heals, let's just say it's okay because it's going to start to heal. That healing mean it's okay happens between it's okay the platelet plug and your scab. No, sorry, not platelet plug. The platelet plug which become the scab, and okay, yes, the clot. Okay, it may going to be as okay some fibrous tissue, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now somebody may have ticklish fingers or fingertippers that tickles. And what do people with ticklish fingertips tend to do? Or let me say it's okay, touchy fingertips. Nope, no idea. Have you seen people who can't let a scab or leave a scab alone? So what do they tend to do? Peel it off, right? And what happens next?
Bleeds again.
I mean, yep,
Bleeds again.
you bleed again. Why? Because it's okay, you didn't let the blood vessel heal. And it's just going to be restored over again. Peace be with that. But what remained, you can see as okay as we had as okay as a result of coagulation. Well, okay, yes. This was our blood vessel. We can say it's okay. We had, yes, okay, the vasoconstriction. We had the platelet plug. But we also, yes, okay, had the fiber meshwork or the blood clot, as we call it, right? Okay. Okay. In your blood vessel like this. Now, before we cut ourselves, yes, okay, this was what our blood vessel looked like. Now we can mean it says, okay, once the blood vessel has healed through and through, well, okay, that's one is okay. The scab will fall off. Okay, but what we still have is this fibrin plug, which means it's okay, still is causing it's okay some disruption in the blood flow here. So the last step main is going to be or be it's okay breaking down of the fibrin here, which means it's going to be as okay, what we're going to say is okay, will be the fourth step of hematostasis. And we will just call that fibrinolysis, which means just for me, breakdown of what? Yes, okay. The or in this case, okay, fibrin plug. Oh, sorry, fibrin clot. So when that is broken down, lysed, whatsoever, what do you have then? Blood vessel restored back to normal. Okay, guys. So these were the 4 steps of hematostasis. So where's the lesson for today? Even if that scab annoys you, don't peel it. Okay, let it fall off by itself. Okay, but what about the 4 steps? Okay, first you gotta cut yourself. Let's not get into that. You can do that in whatever way you want to. Okay, vasoconstriction. Then, due to that cut, it's going to just okay release different chemical substances that mainly as okay will attract the attract your platelets. Those platelets will come and stick together, form a platelet plug. That platelet plug, along with vasoconstriction together, or those 2 steps will be referred to as primary hematostasis, after which you have coagulation. Okay, which may or mean, or it's just a fancy word for the formation of a blood clot. Okay, multiple clotting factors, tick, 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 one after another, after another, after another, walking hand in hand. Or maybe it's okay, just passing that torch on to the next step. Okay, or if you watch Olympics, you see it's okay, those races where there's usually it's 4 members on a team, and they pass that roll of tissue paper or that roll or it's okay on to the next athlete, and he is okay, he or she may is okay, just takes the race on from there. Okay, right. So until and unless okay is passed on to the last runner, and he or she is okay is able, she is okay, come that's okay, finish the is okay, cross the finish line, that's okay, the race is not completed. So until and unless, okay, all these steps of coagulation, factor after factor after factor after factor, isn't completed successfully, as okay, the blood will not clot. But the last step mainly was that fibrinogen gets converted into fibrin. Okay, and if you remember yesterday, I said plasma was liquid component of unclotted blood. Or you can say, okay, non-coagulated blood. Clear? Okay. And what did we say about it? That it did not contain fibrinogen. Why did it not contain fibrinogen? Because that fibrinogen needs to be converted into fibrin for the blood to clot. So that liquid component of clotted blood was what we call serum, which did not have fibrinogen because it was converted into fibrin to form the clot. There's plasma, liquid component of blood. No, liquid component of unclotted blood. And when we talked about this, okay, plasma, we said that one of the proteins that it has was fibrinogen. Which that's okay, as you can say, it's okay. An inactive form of the protein, which is going to be called fibrin. It just needs to get, you can say it's okay, activated. Once it becomes activated, it generates what you call fibrin, which knits the net or meshwork, sweater, mitten, hat, whatever, that's going to just, okay, form the blood clot. After that, well, okay, we still want the blood vessels, okay, to be restored back to normal, or okay, will heal. Afterwards, yes, okay, that clot is not needed anymore. The scab falls off. So yes, okay, something is going to come and eat up or break down or dissolve that plaque. Oh, sorry, not plaque, sorry. Clot. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now, one of the, we can say is, okay, clotting factors, if you want to put it that way. Okay. One of the clotting factors. Okay. One of the clotting factors is actually going to be as, okay, what we call vitamin K. So what vitamin K is, it is, because it's, okay, one of the clotting factors. Okay. Now some of you may say, okay, why did they label it vitamin K? Because clotting or coagulation starts with C. So why K? Because mainly says, okay, one reason could be that, okay, as the letter C was always, okay, taken for a vitamin that we call vitamin C. But that may not be the actual reason. The actual reason is that this vitamin K here is, okay, was discovered by some Germans. And they write the word coagulation with a K and not a C. Now, what's a rich source of vitamin K? No idea. It's probably one of the first meals that we get.
Is it banana? No,
Banana.
I don't know. It was a guess. I
Okay.
thought, potassium, the element is K. I tried to do a
That
little.
had nothing to do with K as a potassium, my dear.
It
This is the
was
name of the vitamin.
hey, it was a try.
Okay, good.
I gave my best.
Okay.
Um,
But what the first meal that you were getting was that bananas?
I thought you meant the first meal of the day.
Not of the day. The first meal that we get,
Milk.
breast milk. Okay. Actually, it's okay, not milk. The milk that the mother produces for the first week to 10 days has a slight different Amida?
What is it called? Colostrum? Is that what it's called?
Exactly. Colostrum that is rich in vitamin K.
Yeah, I would have never gotten that.
No, that's fine. That's okay. Okay. So colostrum is okay. That's a rich source of vitamin K. But yes, okay, here the word K is not for potassium. It's just the name of the vitamin. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, yes. But you can mean it's okay because it plays a role in what you want to call it, coagulation. So pretty much okay, yes, that's why they call it vitamin K from coagulation. Okay, guys. Now, any questions? So the takeaway
Question.
points. Yes, my dear.
I was just gonna say the clotting factors, so you just mentioned vitamin K, but
Mhm.
are the thrombin and the fibrin also the clotting factors?
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay.
Okay. Um, uh, so yes, okay, mainly people with conditions such as, have you heard of something called hemophilia? That people may not be able to, yes, okay, or they may, yes, okay, have
Isn't it like
inability
bloody
of the blood to
noses?
clot. Okay, so there are different subtypes of it. Let's not go into all those, but that's okay. One of the main things that okay may go wrong is that they are not able to produce the required a certain clotting factor, so and so and so. So the clotting process may just come to a stand by at that step because it will not be able to proceed on. Okay. Now certain people, yes, okay. We actually may want or want to stop or not stop, but it's okay reduce their blood from clotting. Okay, so generally it's okay what people can be given is what's at large can be referred to as blood thinners. Okay, you may have heard that word being used day in, day out. So and so and so is taking blood thinners. Okay. But yes, okay, when you look into it, we can make it okay, that's going to be primary two major types of blood thinners. One, you can go and, okay, let's just walk into the pharmacy, pick off the aisle as many as you want and purchase them. Children's or baby aspirin, as they call it. Right? Now, not baby aspirin, but the reason that they call them, the reason that they refer to them as baby aspirin is because it's in a lower dose. Primarily aspirin was primarily as a drug used for pain. So immediately falls primarily as in the same category as your Motrin and all that, NSAIDs. Okay. It has also been as a primary drug of choice for migraines. Okay. But that's okay. Those doses are for headaches and things like that was quite higher than what you get in the baby aspirin. As a matter of fact, 4 tablets of a baby aspirin will be equal to as 1 regular aspirin. And for headaches and things like that, you had to take 2 full adult tablets of baby aspirin, where each is going to be equal to 4 baby aspirins. But what they found was that even at a lower dose, that aspirin actually is also could work as a blood thinner. But you go and you buy as not buy, but if you look it up, what I will say is antiplatelet for your aspirin is referred to as an antiplatelet. So what does that mean? They pretty much prevent the formation of that platelet plug. That's how it works as a what you can call a blood thinner. The other group of blood thinners was what we call anticoagulants. And what do? Nothing about the platelet plug. May just interrupt in that chain of events that ultimately leads to the fibrin notion getting converted into fibrin. Stop that race either at the first athlete, second athlete, third athlete, or so. What made the cause is that cycle is not able to just cross the finish line. And by doing so, prevent the coagulation or clot formation. So one of the substances was heparin. Right, okay. Some of you may have heard of a substance called Coumadin. So Coumadin, yes, also is used to be the choice of anticoagulants for people, especially as people with heart problems like atrial fibrillation. They might have to take Coumadin for the rest of their lives. What the hell an atrial fibrillation is, we'll talk about that in most likely the next chapter. Okay, people with artificial heart valves might have to be on anticoagulants. Primarily the drug of choice used to be Coumadin, or the rest of their lives, or otherwise. Now the funny thing about Coumadin is that it is mainly going to be an anti-vitamin K. So it pretty much makes the RNA causes the vitamin K not to be able to do its job. And in that way blocks the prevents the coagulation from happening. So people who, for instance, okay, might have got too much coumadin. The easy remedy for that was give them some vitamin K. Nowadays, for the last 5-6 years, another group of anticoagulants are out. They just call them NOACs, NOACA. New oral anticoagulants. That's what they call them. So that was a little bit about that. So you may as okay see that, okay, yes, some of your patients who may come in, yes, okay, are taking Coumadin or, yes, okay, anticoagulants. Okay. So what could be the reason for that? Because, okay, something has gone wrong, and, okay, yes, they may tend to, yes, okay, or be at a greater risk of producing unwanted blood clots, which can circulate in the blood circulation and, okay, get stuck anywhere. So that's why it's okay, we don't want that to happen. But it's okay, they're also going to be, it's okay, at a greater risk of bleeding. Okay, guys. And now just take your lunch break, and when we come back, we will talk about blood grouping or blood types. Okay? And if you don't know what your blood type is, okay, it should be written somewhere. Your birth certificates or something. Not that you have to disclose it, but you can see also, okay, what that will lead to. Okay, guys, so I see you guys back, should we say, at 12:30? Fair deal?
Okay.
Deal or no deal?
Yeah.
Deal. Okay, good. Have fun then. Any questions yet? Nope. Nothing. Nope. Okie dokie mookie. So what we're going to be talking about is going to be as okay what we can call blood groups. Some people may also call this blood types. Okay. And now, guys, there's probably going to be as okay different ways of determining the blood group or blood types. But that means it says, okay, the one that is going to be as okay universally recognized as the ABO typing or grouping. Now, before going in and talking about it's okay, A, B, and O group types, etc., just keep this statement here in mind, because that's going to just okay help you maybe just okay understand how this blood grouping thing here works. So we can mainly say that okay, yes, blood groups, or if you don't like the word groups, then you can go yes, okay, say types, doesn't matter, is determined based upon the antigen And this antigen here is going to be present on the surface of the red blood cell. So for instance, what that mainly will mean is that let's say it's okay, we have a red blood cell. Now what we will find on the surface of that red blood cell is going to be a certain type of antigen. Okay. Now, if that antigen is what we refer to as an A antigen, then the patient has blood group A. If that antigen, for instance, okay, was the B antigen, then that person will have blood group B. Now, guys, there is going to be people who have both the A antigen and the B antigen. So they're going to be blood group AB. Now, okay, guys, please, we don't have an antigen called O antigen. But here O mainly is okay, just like okay, no or none. Okay, so pretty much okay as a person who doesn't have the A antigen or the B antigen, he or she is going to be blood group O. So it's okay. That will mainly mean that there's going to be, it's okay, no antigens on the surface of the red blood cell. Which antigens are we saying is okay? They're not going to be either the A or B. Did you guys get that? Yeah, okay. And even later on, guys, well, okay, there will be another kind of antigen, but let's just take that up at that point. But it's still going to be as okay, that antigen, whichever it's going to be, the presence of that antigen on the surface of the RBC or red blood cell is going to determine what blood group or type the patient has. Okay. Now, the way that I used to do this, and mainly it's okay, we can just make it straightforward and simple. Now, please keep in mind, guys, this is mainly going to be as okay just for your ABO grouping right now. So we can say it's okay, group A, group B. As we said, there are people who could be as okay, what you call blood group AB. And then we have people who were blood group O. Now, what I mean is, okay, just already said was antigen on the surface, or let's say, okay, on the red blood cells surface. So what we said was people with blood group A, mainly as okay, had blood group A because they had the A antigen on the surface of the red blood cell. People with blood group B had the B antigen. People who were blood group A, B, yes, okay, mainly were so because they had both the A and B antigens. And people with blood group O mainly is okay, well, considered to have blood group O mainly because that neither the A nor the B antigen was found on the surface of the red blood cell. Did you guys get that? Now, yesterday, when we talked plasma, do you guys recall that? And I said plasma protein. And when we say plasma protein, we said immunoglobulins. Or we said antibodies. And what I said was, please remember that antibodies, whichever form or type it's going to be, will be found in the plasma. Okay, so that's mainly going to be because that, okay, as people with different blood groups may, as okay, have different, I guess that's okay, blood group related antibodies. Or where is it that those antibodies are going to be? Those are going to be in the plasma. So we can mainly say as okay, antibodies, antibody. And where's the antibody going to be? In the plasma. Clear? Okay. Now, guys, people who has blood group A. Why did they have blood group A? Mainly because of the A antigen. Okay, but what their plasma will carry is going to be as okay, an antibody, which we just call the B antibody. Okay. People with blood group B. Now, why were they blood group B? Mainly because we said that that's going to was determined by the type of antigen. And where did we find that antigen? We found that on the surface of the red blood cell. Okay. But people who are blood group B has the B antigen on the surface of the red blood cell. That will mainly mean that, okay, yes, they will carry what we call the A antigen, A antibody in the plasma. Okay. Now, before going to A, B, and O, let's just look at this. And what the Manias, okay, said was that had that be a case as okay where blood group A, which has the A antigen, came across with the A antibody, that would actually okay lead to a reaction. Mainly because that A antigen would be acted upon or be reacted upon by the A antibody. So that will lead to a reaction. You can mean it says, okay, if that was the case, a person might just okay react or be allergic to his own blood. Likewise, if somebody had the B antigen, okay, they may says, okay, we're not going to call that antibody that he or she has in his plasma the B antibody, but rather vice versa, because even this is okay here.
Yeah, maybe one.
Sure.
I got maybe one.
Okay, yeah, hold on, yeah. What we?
It's mini.
Yeah, I know it's a mini job.
Okay.
Because again, that's okay, that was again going to lead to as okay an allergic reaction. Okay, so we can make I said, okay, that if A antigen comes across A antibody, there will be an reaction. Likewise, if B antigen comes across the B antibody, there will be a reaction. Okay, and commonly as okay, a common term for as okay, this reaction that will occur is going to be as okay what we call agglutination. So that's mainly as okay what would have happened had the A antigen come across the B antibody or vice versa. Did you guys get that? So pretty much now, the person who has A, B, or blood group AB, now he or she will have both the A antigen and B antigen in his or her, on the surface of his or her red blood cells, which may literally mean that, okay, yes, neither would there be an A antibody in the plasma, neither would he or she have the B antibody. Okay, because had that person had either of that would have interacted with the antigen. Did you guys get that?
So they don't have antibodies, A and B?
They don't have those antibodies, no.
Okay.
Because otherwise, had there been, for instance, okay, an A antibody, for instance, that would have reacted against the antigen. And you will have a mess. Had they had the B antigen, antibody, that will have reacted against the B antigen. And you will have had a mess. So people with blood group AB, mainly because they have both the antigens. Where are those antigens found? On the surface of the red blood cell. That's why it's okay, they will not have those blood group related antibodies in the plasma. Did you get that here?
Yes.
Good. Now that just leads us to, yes, okay, we can say it's okay, our last question. What about a person who is blood group O? Because what we said about a person who was blood group O mainly was so because neither did he or she have the A antigen on the surface of the red blood cell, neither did she or he have the B antigen of the surface of the red blood cell, which mainly cause that, okay, as he or she is okay, will carry both the A antibody and B antibody in the plasma. And okay, in this case, there's not going to be any reaction because there's going to be no antigens against which these antibodies here will react. Did you guys get that? Okay, so what we mainly can see is, well, okay, what determines the blood group? A, antigen A, B, antigen B, A, B, both antigens, O, no antigens. While you have the A antigen, you will have the B antibody. You have the B antigen, you will have the A antibody. You have both A and B antigens, you will have neither of the antibodies. If you don't have any of the antigens and it makes you blood group O, you will have both antibodies. Both A antibodies and B antibodies. Okay. Now, just one little thing regarding okay, your blood groups and so on. So, blood group AB. People who have blood group AB. They are mainly considered to be as okay, what we'll refer to as be as okay universal recipients. And what does that mean? That literally means that, okay, yes, they can receive blood from any person. So if any of you is AB, you're lucky. Because you can receive blood from pretty much anybody. Got it? Anybody who's AB? Okay, that's fine. If not, or if you are, and it's okay, it's none of your business, that's fine too. Whereas, okay, guys, there's going to be something that's going to be as okay referred to as okay as the universal donor. And that's blood group O. Now, please keep in mind, guys, okay, blood group O may be a universal donor, but they can only receive blood from blood group O. Okay, so yes, okay, please just okay, keep these things in mind.
Can A and B give, since if they're universal recipients, can they give blood to anyone?
AB,
Yeah, like can they give to A and B except O, or how
no,
does
no,
that?
no, they are just going to be universal recipients.
So that they can like donate blood to anyone,
Nope,
just to
they
AB,
can receive from anybody, but
they can't give
the
blood.
only one that's going to be able to donate to everybody is people with blood group O. That's why they're called universal donors. Okay, but they're universal donors, they are not universal recipients. And that's why I say it's okay, it may suck pretty badly to be a blood group O. Because if you are in need of blood, you can only receive blood from a person who is able to donate blood group O. So O can only receive O. But they can donate to everybody. So just two things to remember. A being universal recipient, O universal donor. Clear? Now, have you guys ever got your blood group determined? Do you remember how it was done? Or you were too little?
Don't they tell you what your blood type is when you go to donate blood also?
Oh yeah, of course. They would like to make sure what group you are so that they don't transfuse it to, yes, okay, to the wrong person, right? So one thing, okay, either you know what your group is, or they may say, okay, okay, that's fine. Let's just test it. It's not something that is going to, okay. But my dear guys, the way that they actually do it,
They do a finger prick, right?
yeah,
When you go to donate blood, and then they put it on the on that little stick thing.
slide.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say, yes, okay, listen, what we can do here. Because we may as well just going to look at, okay, that's what slides may look like. So what the main SRK will do to begin with, poke your finger and the reason that I made 4 slides here is not because they're going to take 2 drops on 4 different slides. Mainly SRK just to say, okay, how is it that it is determined whether you have blood group A, B, AB, or O. So we can say, okay, this one here is okay, that will be what it will look like if a person is A. This will here end up as it will look like what okay is if the patient was B. But this one here is okay is going to be AB. And here is going to be as okay if the person was O. Now we can mainly say as okay after taking as okay those 2 drops of blood on the slide. What they mainly as okay add on to each drop is going to be as okay a chemical. As a matter of fact, as okay, it may be called anti-A and anti-B. Now, guys, here what this anti actually is okay stands for or may represent is going to be antibody. So when it says anti-A, what does that mean? That we actually that's okay, this solution here actually is going to be synthetically as okay the A antibody. And anti-B actually is going to be the B antibody. So the main okay will add 1 drop on this from anti-A and 1 drop of this. It's okay, I'll add anti-B. Now in this case here is okay, you may see a reaction in this drop here. So this reaction is okay, that was mainly as okay what we called agglutination, right? Okay. Now agglutination is mainly as okay, just a fancy word for what happens. But what it may is okay, may look like okay that the blood actually is going to clump. Now, if somebody doesn't know what blood clumping means, just look at milk that run bad. Okay, that is me. That's okay, going to clump. Okay, so that's okay. If you see milk running, that's okay, turning bad, that is clumping. But theoretically, that's okay. Technically speaking, that's okay. On technical terms, we will call that clumping as agglutination. Okay, but what caused this? What caused the agglutination here? That was mainly because that's okay. In this case, here we say that's okay. We had the A antigen. Which was being reacted upon by the A antibody and caused it to clump or agglutinate. Whereas, okay, you have no reaction over here. And why was that? Because, yes, okay, this was from a person who was blood group A, and he or she already, yes, okay, has the B antibodies, which didn't react against his or her own A antigens. And even if you add more B antibodies, it's not going to do anything. But mainly you saw a reaction on the blood draw where you added the anti-A, which actually was the A antibody. So the A antibody reacts against the A antigen, and you have a reaction. Which mainly is okay, we will just say it's okay. We're going to have that reaction here. In this case, it's okay, the drop of blood onto which is okay, blood group. Also, the A antibody was added. We will have a reaction which was going to be agglutination. Why? Because this B antibody was going to react against the B antigen. As over here, no reaction. Because this blood still has, okay, or this blood from this person here also adds also, okay, the A antibody. Okay. Against which, well, okay, you add some more antibody on it, nothing happens. Whereas if we see reaction in both, agglutination in both drops, you can maybe say, like, why here? Because this anti-A antibody reacts against the A antigens. The B antibody reacts against the B antigens. And some parties on the other had both the antigens was blood group AB. Whereas over here, we can mainly say as, okay, there's no agglutination or no reaction because we had no antigens, or there was no A antigen against which the A antibody could react, or no B antigen against which the B antibody could react. So that's caused that there was no agglutination or no reaction. Okay. So if your slide looks like this, they will say, okay, well, okay, bump, you blood group A. If it looked like this, bump, you blood group B. If it looks like this, AB. If it looks like this, blood group O. Okay. So it's made as, okay, the antibody that they add that were active against the antigen. Okay. And what that reaction is going to be is, okay, we may is, okay, just call it agglutination. Easily explained as what you can call clumping of the blood. Yes.
Out of curiosity, what blood type is like the most common and which one is the most rare, would you say?
Well, my dear, that depends. It depends upon which part of the world you are in. Some blood groups are more common in, should we say, can we say Jewish compared to other people? Exactly. Okay. So now when I'm from, the common blood group was A and B. But what they mainly as, okay, say that one of the rarest group is O. And that's why I says, okay, it sucks to be blood group O. Because that's okay, if you need a blood donation, the only blood that you can get is going to be from O. And if that's the rarest one, that's okay. Best of luck with that. Okay. Take care. Hey. Okay, guys. Now, if you look onto yes, okay, your birth certificate or wherever yes, okay, your blood group has been written, you may see, well, okay, I see a letter E, I see a letter B, I see A, B, I see O. But then I also see that, okay, yes, it says plus or minus. What the hell does that mean? Is that because I'm the negative pole of a battery or a positive pole of a battery? No, because ladies and gentlemen, there's still going to be as okay one last let's do it this way. Oh, okay, that's right. We can say it's okay, there's still going to be one antigen. And that antigen, yes, okay, may go under two names. Some people call it, yes, okay, the D antigen. In some cases, okay, they may also refer to as the RH antigen. So whichever. Okay, some of you will say, okay, why not C? Well, okay, yes. It could have been that, okay, what they previously considered to be, or what we now consider to be O, might, yes, okay, in the old days have been considered to be C. But let's not get into all that. And why the RH? Mainly, yes, okay, that's the explanation for that, mainly because this antigen here, which actually is, okay, we'll call the RH antigen, first was discovered in, okay, as a little fellow, which was, okay, as a rhesus monkey. Yes, okay, guys, I have a picture of him, or what that fellow looks like. Here, this little cutie fellow here, that was pretty much, okay, as which is the rhesus monkey, or the first species where the main is, okay, first detected the RH antigen. Now the question then just arises, where would this RH antigen or D antigen be found? We already said that. On the surface of the red blood cell. But the question then comes as, okay, what does it mean to be RH positive or D positive? Or what does it mean to be RH negative or D negative? Now, a person is going to be RH positive only and only if he or she has the RH antigen or D antigen on the surface of his or her RBC, sorry. So people who are positive mainly are positive because they carry this antigen. Whereas people who are negative or we can say it's okay, R is negative, is mainly as okay because they don't have the RH or D antigen.
What does that word say before antigen? Oh. That one.
This
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
one. We still
Oh.
have one more antigen left, right?
Okay.
Beside A and B. Now, what does that down mean? Now, we just look at it. If you were A, that was because you had the A antigen. Okay. You were B, you had the B antigen. Okay. You were AB, you had both A and B antigen. Okay. You are O, well, okay, yes. You didn't have the A antigen, you didn't have the B antigen. Now, my dear, if you happen to be A positive, that mainly will mean that, okay, yes, along with the A antigen, you also had the D or RH antigen. If you were B positive, well, okay, along with the B antigen, you will also have the D or RH antigen. Were you AB positive, that will mean is okay, going to mean that, okay, along with the A and B antigen, you will also have the D or RH antigen. Whereas, okay, if you were O positive, that would mean because, well, okay, you didn't have the A or the B antigen, but you had the D antigen. Whereas, my dear, if you were negative, or you can say A negative, well, okay, yes, you were A because you had the A antigen, but you did not have the D or RH antigen. You were B negative, well, okay, you had the B antigen, but you were not going to have the D antigen. You were AB negative, well, you had both the A and B antigens, but the negative was mainly because, yes, okay, you did not have the D antigen. You were O negative. Now, O mainly because neither did you have the A antigen, neither did you have the B negative antigen. But negative mainly is okay because, well, okay, you didn't have the D antigen either. Yeah, okay. So the positive or negative part of your blood group, along with A, B, or O, mainly as okay, was determined upon whether you had the D antigen or RH antigen or didn't. If you have it, you are positive. If you didn't, you're negative.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So when you're like A, B, whatever, you only have that like antigen, right? So if you're A negative, you don't have the D or the RH antigen, you only have,
Exactly.
so
It-
you have be A, right? You don't have to
Exactly.
say.
But just no, because what they will say is, well, okay, you had the A antigen. That makes you A.
Right.
Clear? Okay. Clear? Okay. Now, along with A, you can either be A positive or you can be A negative. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're A negative, you don't have the, you don't carry the D or RH antigen, so you just,
Exactly. But you have the A antigen.
Yeah, so you'd just be A. So is it, I guess my question is it correct if you just say A or you still have to say A negative because you technically still don't have the D?
No, you still have to say A negative.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. But what determines whether your blood group along with the letter A, or A, B, or O is going to be determined by the whether you have the D or Rh antigen or don't have it. If you have it, whatever A, B, or O, or ABO group you're going to be, you'll be positive because of having the D antigen. Okay? Whereas, okay, yes, whatever your A, B, or O group is, but if you don't have the D or Rh antigen, you will be whatever that letter was, D or Rh negative. Okay, and again is going to be the question that where was it that this antigen here was going to be found? The D antigen, if you had it, on the surface of the red blood cell. Did you guys get that? Okay, why in the will we talk about this? Okay, guys. Especially as, okay, if you are interested in OBGYN, etc. Now, ladies and the gentlemen, let's do it this way. There's a male partner. There is a female. They come together. Now, the thing here is, and that's pretty much okay, it's not negotiable. Let's put it this way. That the male partner is positive. And the female partner is negative. When I say positive and negative, I mean it's okay, just talking about the RH grouping. Okay, right now we're not going to bother about the blood group A, blood group B, blood group A, B, or O. That's not relevant here. It's mainly as okay, just a matter of okay, as being positive and negative. Okay, now what's going to happen here? That okay, yes, they may have a child. We're not going to discuss the sex of the patient or the child. That's not relevant. It's not going to be as okay relevant whether this child is going to be A, B, O, or 7. But it's the positive and negative. Clear? Okay. Now let's just say that this was child number 1. Let's just say that, okay, yes, the blood group went after Papa, that he was positive. Did you guys get that? Now, what may happen, or what most likely is okay will happen is, now it's the mother that carries the child, right? Okay. What the mother will be doing, or what the mother may be doing, is she will actually is okay produce what we can call is okay the D antibodies. During this first pregnancy here. Okay. Now there's probably going to be no worries. That's okay if the child was RS negative. Because okay, if he or she was RS negative, there was going to be no RS antigens against which these antibodies could act. Now, miraculously, we can say, okay, I wonder Mother Nature that, okay, this first positive RH positive child here is safe. Now, let's say it's okay, this couple here has another child. Let's say another child, another child, another child. Let's just say that all these children here, okay, ends up being or turning out to be RS negatives. Now, since they are RS negative, yes, okay, these antibodies which the mother carries in her blood have no antibody or have no antigens again, which they correct. Let's say after many, many years again, it's okay, a new child, which just happens to be, yes, okay, RH positive. Now say, yes, okay, since this child here is RH positive, it could have been this one, it could have been this one, it could have been this one, whichever. What the mother carried was these antigens, antibodies, which now can react against the RH antigens. And that actually is okay, will lead to, yes, okay, a condition that we call erythro. And you can see, yes, okay, it has something to do with, yes, okay, your red blood cells. Blastosis. Now, just because we says, okay, osis, what did that tell us? This is not a normal condition. But what is so abnormal about it is the blast, erythroblasts. Now, what did we see about blasts? Do you guys remember we had a blast with a B like a boom? No, don't look back.
Osteoblast.
Huh? Osteoblast. Okay, what about osteoblasts?
Weren't they the younger cells? Like, or they weren't the mature cells, right? They were the other ones?
They were premature, right?
Yeah.
Clear, okay? They were premature. So it's going to actually be as, okay, we call it erythroblastosis. And maybe it's okay because it affects the fetus. Vitalis. Okay, but what we actually can say is, yes, okay, what happens is that there's going to be, yes, okay, a lot of premature red blood cells. And cells or red blood cells which were premature could very well be nucleated, have a nucleus, or so and so. Okay. What causes that? Mainly is because, okay, that the child is born, okay, or we can say that the antibodies in the mother's blood attacks the blood of the child. Or we can say those antigens, antibodies from the mother attack the blood of the child, which was Rh positive, who has the Rh antigen. So there's going to be this antigen antibody reaction. Okay. Now, please keep in mind, guys, this can only happen if an Rh positive child is born of an Rh negative mom. And what will make that child be Rh positive is because blood group went after his father. Clear? Had it been the other way around, father Rh negative and mother Rh positive, the mother will not produce those Rh antibodies. Did you guys get that? Okay, so that's why it's okay, began with saying that, okay, yes, who is Rh positive in this equation and who is Rh negative, that is not negotiable. You can say, as a wonder of Mother Nature, is okay, first child is safe. Probably nothing is going to happen to it. What may happen subsequently. Now, while a child is in the womb, yes, okay, you'll not be able to know whether he or she is Rh positive or not. But what they can do is that they actually is okay, have developed a vaccine, which is called the D anti-suppressor. Now, if you just look at it, D for the D, anti here means antibodies. And what does the word suppressor means? We talked about it earlier. So maybe that's okay, a vaccine that this Rh negative mother can be given to suppress those Rh antibodies that she has so that they won't be able to react against the Rh antigens of the child or embryo. And you can save the poor child from this phenomena here. Did you?
So that only happens when the father is Rh positive, correct? And the
mom is
mother's
Rh
negative.
Exactly.
But what if but if they're both negative, it doesn't. It's fine.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Because if they are both Rh negative, then okay, of course, hopefully the child should also be Rh negative, right? Okay. Either it's somebody else who is the father who doesn't know about it. Okay. The paternity issue is okay, yes, is kept in dark. Right, okay. So let's say it's okay, the biological father. Okay. Has to be positive. And it has to be a negative mom. Or is negative. You can't switch it around. Now, if they're both positive, well, okay, then of course child is going to be positive. If they're both negative, well, okay, child is going to be negative. If one is positive, one is negative, it's just a matter of, okay, who is positive, who is negative. So it has to be the mother who is negative because she would be the one that produces the D antibodies. And those D antibodies will attack the D antigens of the child who was Rh positive because father was Rh positive. That's okay. This can now be avoided because that's okay. They have a vaccine that they can give, which means that's okay. Just suppress these T antibodies. If you suppress something, that's okay. Will not be as okay able to do the trouble that they had the tendency to do. Whether that was antibodies of whatever type. Yes, guys. So as far as blood is concerned, this was all that I could offer. So how was it?
I think it was a lot of information.
Okay. Susan, this is the beginning, my dear. Anything else? But just take it in small bites. I know, yes, okay, it may be a lot, but just take it, I think, is piece by piece. Okay. So when we say piece by piece, that's okay. What was our first piece? Plasma. What was plasma? Liquid component. 55% of your entire blood volume. Okay. What made up plasma? 90% of it was from water. Remaining was, okay, as other substances. Salts, electrolytes. We had hormones being carried in the plasma. Okay, so it's not going to be the job of your blood cells, red, white, or platelets to transport those hormones. It was going to be the job of your plasma. While in the plasma we had proteins. So it's actually going to be as okay the job of some of those plasma proteins to act as a vehicle onto which the hormones will attach and be carried, Ubered or yellow cabbed or as okay transported via as okay bus to the target tissue and being dropped off. Yeah, okay. So that was made as okay your globulins, beta and alpha globulins. We also had gamma globulins, which played a role in the production of antibodies. And we just talked about a lot about antibodies, right? Okay, now some of these antibodies here, well, okay, you're born with them, right? The antibodies, which, yes, okay, we have in form of, okay, as B antibodies, A antibodies, AB antibodies. You are born with them. Some antibody is okay, you develop as you grow, get exposed, develop more and more and more immunity. Clear? Albumin, what was albumin for? Colloid pressure. What was a colloid pressure? It was a pulling force rather than pushing. that kept the water, or let's say, okay, fluid as a component of your plasma. Okay, which, okay, as if that pulling force was lowered, you might have leakage of fluid from the blood into the tissue space, and that will be, as okay, what we call edema. Okay, even people who have, okay, has too much plasma, let's put it this way, or too much fluid, may end up having edema. Or even, yes, okay, if there is a sluggish blood flow, you have, yes, okay, they may end up with edema. Okay. So some people, it may sound strange, but they may be put on a fluid restriction and say, well, okay, you can't consume more than this amount of fluid in a day, because your body is not going to be able to accommodate more, because it's just going to leak into the tissue spaces and cause edema. And that is a curse itself. Last was the fibrinogen, which means that, okay, was going to be converted into fibrin. And we talked today about what this fibrin here was going to do. Last but not least, we played hangman yesterday. It was waste. A waste of a round of hangman. Somehow you guys were able to, I don't know, just be honest, you already won the game. Did you look it up somewhere? So you just knew that it was waste, but just wanted to take it one by one?
We're just really good like that.
Okay, good luck. You may not be at that good luck next time we play hangman. No. Good. And what about the cells? Then we left with cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells primary transport of oxygen. How? Because it has a molecule called hemoglobin. What is hemoglobin made up of? A central globin onto which iron was attached. And it was mainly going to be, okay, the iron of the hemoglobin that provided the oxygen, yes, okay, as a substance onto which, yes, okay, the oxygen could attach. Okay. What were 4 characteristics of our red blood cell was that they were biconcave. Okay. We said, yes, okay, they were anuclear, not having a nucleus. They were what we call as, okay, normocytic, that normal size, 7 micrometers, very, very small. And last but not the least, normochromic, having that normal reddish tint or hue. Clear, okay. We just talked a bit about this, okay, the different types of anemias, or anemia, sorry. Clear, okay. Then we, as okay, talked of play as okay, white blood cells today provide immunity in different ways. What are your granulocytes? Please make sure that you know that. Which are your agranulocytes? And what are the primary functions of each of these? That's pretty much it. Platelets. What was platelets? What did they do? What did we mean by homeostasis? What were the steps of primary hemostasis? What were the steps of secondary hemostasis? And so on. And last but not least, the blood groups. So go and look at your blood group thing and say, okay, now I understand why is it that my blood group is AB negative. Why am I O positive? Why am I AB negative? Why am I this? Why am I that? Yeah, okay, but please realize that the antigens will be on the surface of the red blood cell. And the antibodies, if you have those, will be in the plasma. Or we said antibodies was in the plasma, derived from plasma proteins. Okay. And then RH. Positive, you have the RH antigen. Negative, you don't have the RH antigen. And what is erythroblastoma fetalis? And what causes it? RH positive daddy, RH negative mommy. What can be done for it? Anti-D suppressor. The anti-D just means antibody D or D antibody. Suppressor, calm down. What did we call the process of formation of blood cells? Generally, hematopoiesis. What do we call the process of formation of red blood cells? Is going to be erythropoiesis. What causes erythropoiesis? Sorry. What causes erythropoiesis? Your stem cells being stimulated by a substance called erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, hormone produced by the kidneys, stimulate the stem cells and cause them to take that path of hematopoiesis that we call erythropoiesis that causes the production of more red blood cells. That was your blood. That was your chapter 10 in 10 minutes. Still any questions?
I have a question, but from a previous chapter.
Go ahead.
For the appendicular skeleton, you mentioned the pectoral girdle. Can you just confirm what was part of the pectoral girdle?
Clavicle or your collarbone.
Yeah.
And scapula, which is your shoulder blade.
Okay.
Clear, okay?
And is the humerus part of that as well, or no?
No, because you mean it's okay say that that would be it's okay the bones of your upper limb.
Okay, so it's only the clavicle and the
Yeah,
scapula.
clavicle and scapula.
Okay. And then I had one more. Second. For the axial skeleton, you said that the sacrum was part of the axial skeleton, correct?
Yes. Because they were part of the vertebral column or spine. Okay. Okay. Although, yes, okay, if you look at the skeleton, what they do is, okay, they form that posterior boundary of your pelvic cavity. Did that make sense? Okay. Okay. but it's not going to be considered as a part of the appendicular skeleton of pelvic girdle. Okay, because it's part of the spine of backbone.
But your pelvic bones are part of the appendicular skeleton, correct? Or
Your
because
pelvic bones will be as okay what you call the pelvic girdle.
right.
So you had 3 pelvic bones on each side.
Yeah.
They were paired: the ischium, the iliac, and the pubis. Okay, they make up, yes, okay, your pelvic bones. So actually, yes, okay, you have a right pelvic bone and a left pelvic bone, which means, yes, okay, at the back are held, I mean, it's okay, attached onto the sacrum. And in the front, the pubic bone from one side and the pubic bone from the other side meets and become, yes, okay, at the, what we call it, pubic symphysis.
I think I was just confused because of my notes. I wrote that.
So you have, okay, you can mean says, okay, you have 2 pelvic bones, one on the right side, one on the left side. But where, okay, they are made up of 3 bones each. Okay. At the back, yes, okay, they are attached onto the sacrum, which is not a part of the pelvic girdle. Okay. But when you talk about, yes, okay, forming, yes, okay, a boundary of the pelvic cavity, yes, then the sacrum will be a part of the boundary of the pelvic cavity.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Just like you can say, it's okay. Well, okay, I have a wall behind me. That's wall, that's okay. I will say, it's okay. That wall is, that's okay. Bricks, cement, wood, concrete, or whatever, right? Okay. By that wall, I also have a door. Okay. So that's okay. That door is still going to form, yes, okay, I'll be part of, okay, as the back wall. But I won't say, okay, the AD behind me, but it's not going to be made up of bricks, concrete, and steel or wood or whatever. Okay. So likewise, okay, sacrum forms as, okay, the posterior border of the pelvic cavity, but it's not a part of the pelvic girdle. Which would be as, okay. So the sacrum is, and it comes in under the axial skeleton because it's anatomically is okay, or functionally is okay, a part of your spinal cord or column, sorry. Anybody else? Hi.
Hello. So did you say hematopoiesis is the process of formation of blood?
Blood cells,
Oh, blood cells.
because the word OE actually means formation.
Okay. And did you say there was another one? It was
Erythropoiesis,
Yeah, that
that's
one.
only for your red blood cells.
So that's just the formation of the red.
Exactly. Okay. But you can say, okay, formation of any kind of blood cell, red, white, or platelets will be as, okay, generally hematopoiesis. Which is, okay, erythropoiesis, that only accounts for the formation of red blood cells. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. But it's going, and that's why I say it's okay. Formation. The formation is only going to be as okay for things which has a form. And what were your forms component of the blood? Your cells. Plasma is not formed. Plasma is just a liquid. Okay? But in your blood, you can mainly say it's okay that the plasma actually is okay, is the medium that's going to is okay. Carry the cells. Right? Or if you just go and look at a stream, you see water running in that stream, right? You may put different things in that stream as okay, a little plastic boat, or so and so. They're just going to just okay, run with the water. So anything that you drop into that stream, you can make it okay, has a form, has a shape. It's going to be as okay, carry along with that stream. So likewise, as okay, your blood cells have a form, they have a shape. Are just going to be as okay, carried along with the stream of plasma. Anything else? Yes, ladies and the gentlemen. I don't kill anybody for asking a question.
Well, in that case, I'm curious how many questions will be on the midterm.
That's hangman right there.
It helps with my anxiety so I can be prepared.
Don't get anxiety. Just prepare. There's only going to be one picture or one question. And okay, if you didn't read that topic that is going to be asked in that single question, yes, okay, you're going to be dangling like hangman. So don't get anxious. Okay. Prepare as good as you can. You can say, okay, prepare for the worst, okay. For the best. Or hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. That's all. No, you guys be fine, okay? Just focus on what your primary task is and study and just ask. Any other questions but how many diagrams and how many questions? Okay. That's not your headache. That's my headache. How many questions, which questions, so and so. Just be as okay, I'm not going to ask anything that I haven't talked about. Okay, and there are even things that, okay, as I may talk about, which I don't ask. Okay, just to finish today's class off with, okay, is a good note. Let's say it's okay, a good laugh. Talking hangman. 3 people were caught red-handed, whatever you want to call it. One was a Frenchman, one was a Britisher, and one was a Dane from Denmark. Now, they were given the death sentence. And that was it. There was no caring, loving mother, no death sentence. The only thing that they could choose from was, or was it that they wanted the execution to happen? So the 3 options was either being hung, hangman, shot, by a shooting squad. Oh, yes, okay, that guillotine thing. You remember that? Have you seen that? From the French Revolution? They'll put your head in something, I mean, it's okay, just let the blade come and that will chop off your head. Now, they first asked the Frenchman, how do you want us to kill you? And he said, okay, I'm going to die anyway, so why not die like a king? Die like royalty. So he said, okay, well, just put me in that guillotine thing. It's going to be quick, and I die like a king. Now, I guess, okay, that thing hadn't been used for a long time. So when they let the blade go, it got stuck in the middle. So the people came back to the king and said, well, okay, you're trying to execute this Frenchman. The blade got stuck. And the king said, okay, well, okay, it may be a sign from God. Let him go. Now the Britishers saw that and he said, oh, there may be a 50% chance. Maybe he got stuck on my time too, man. Okay, because he saw that they let the Frenchman go. So he said, okay, well, just put me in that guillotine as well. And okay, yes, good luck because yes, okay, the blade got stuck again. So they said, okay, well, okay, it's probably as a sign. Let this man go. Now they asked the Dane, how do you want us to, yes, okay, execute you? And he said, oh, you guys know what? Just shoot me because that guillotine shit, that ain't working. So good. So next time we play Hangman, okay, just hope for that, okay, yes, you'll be able to guess it again. If not, yes, okay, you may get shot. Okay, guys, enjoy your day. Take care and see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, dear.
Thanks.